Good afternoon to everybody. We want to thank Nuchi Morovitz for sponsoring the Dvar Torah on the special Shabbat, Shabbat Zachor, which is also the Parsha of Terumah, when we um, start to speak about the Binyan Beit HaMikdash and the Binyan of the Mishkan. And Nuchi is sponsoring it, Ilui Nishmat, her mother, the very, very esteemed Rabbanit Morovitz, who passed away, the Eshet Chayil of Yibadel L'Chaim Tovim, Arov Rabbi Morovitz, who both of them been mamash pillars of our community over here in Netanya. So as we say, on the one hand, we want to thank you, Nuchi, for sponsoring the Dvar Torah for your mother, who's in the language of the Talmud is known as Isha Chashuva, very prominent woman. And at the same time, Yibadel L'Chaim Tovim, that we take the opportunity to wish Chayim Arukim always to Rabbi Morovitz, who the Rabbi Emeritus of Young Israel of Netanya, as well as someone who's so involved in the supporters of Laniado. So we start. I try to choose something which is not just only a Dvar Torah for Rabbanit Morovitz, but also something which in some way would reflect something about her character. The first item that is described in the Torah when building the Mishkan was the building of the Aron. And the Aron was made up basically of three boxes, and there was a one covered with gold, and the second box, and the third box. All of them were covered in gold, so the outside and the inside was gold, and then afterwards there's a cover, and on the top of the cover there was, as you could see, I hope on your screen, there was a cover which had two, like a figure of a boy, a girl, two like angels with wings that stretched over the ark, which held the Sefer Torah and basically, but first of all, the Luchot HaBrit. So what was the message? What was the point in this furniture? What message did it tell us? So we should understand that there's two very, very important approaches to all the items in the Mishkan, both the building and also the furniture. So the first point and the first approach is we have to understand that we don't understand at all what are the secrets behind any article which HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us to do. We know that if we do it in a proper way, then that causes us to improve. We know that then that causes us to gives us kedusha, holiness, but we don't understand, as we say, what are the details and what do they exactly signify. So, for example, we don't understand why a tefillin box has to be exactly square. Why it can't be a triangle, or why it can't be a circular. We don't understand why we have to have 7 straps, that the straps have to be black. Why can't they be pink? We don't understand what these things are telling us. We know there are certain messages. We know that there are secret words, but we know if they are completely black, if they are square, if they are prepared in the right way with the right kavanah, because Hashem told us, then when we put on tefillin, we are going to there being infused with holiness, and that is going to cause us to the hitalot. It causes us to somehow rise in our spirituality if it's done with the right way and the right kavanah. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, what I wanted to share with you is such an amazing thing what the Rambam says in an essay which is basically attributed to the Rambam, It's called Pirkei Hatzlacha. What is the way in which we had to, a person coming into a Beit HaMikdash, how he had to view everything that he saw in the Beit HaMikdash. And the Rambam says that in the Beit HaMikdash, there was this one approach that we spoke about now. Everything's a secret. On the other hand, the Rambam says you had to see that every one of the items, they symbolize something. And what did they symbolize? The Rambam said that the Beit HaMikdash is a world. Which world? Us. The world of man. And each one of these items in the Beit HaMikdash / a man, they convey to us a certain message. So let us see, what is the message of the Keruvim? What part of the body does it signify when we look at it? I mean, we couldn't look at it because only a Kohen could go into it. But we, just like a person would study anatomy from a book, from a picture, and he would see this. So also, this is what we have to see. And this is what the Kohen Gadol had to see when he actually walked into the Kodesh Kodashim on Yom Kippurim. So I read to you from the Rambam in Pirkei Hatzlacha. He says, first of all, these Keruvim, right, with their wings that are now covering the ark's cover, right, are allegorically compared to you. In other words, to us. When the Torah states, and the Keruvim shall spread out their wings on high. And what does that mean? So the Rambam says as follows. He says that the ark refers to the heart, our innermost thoughts, the hearts of Kedusha, which is in which there are the Luchot HaBrit. Another time, it's not for now to go into this whole discussion of what is supreme, the mind or the heart. But in the meantime, let's say that the heart with the Luchot, that is what the ark represents. And on that ark, there is, as we say, these two Keruvim. Rambam says that symbolizes the lungs which guard the heart. There's a lungs, and then, right, around the heart, and they protect the heart. In what way do the two lungs protect the heart, says the Rambam? They protect the heart because they give the heart air. If the heart is lacking any air, if it's lacking oxygen, so then the heart is going to fail. So the protection of the heart is the lungs, and the lungs are represented by the wings, which cover, so to speak, the heart which is below them. This is how the Rambam understands it. And now the Rambam says an amazing thing. He says that what the Torah is trying to tell the person who's coming to the Beit Mikdash is saying, look, the word in Hebrew for air and the word for prophecy, ruach, is the same thing. It's got a double meaning. And just like the lungs protect the heart, they give the heart ruach that it should function. So also you should know. And if there is any stop in oxygen, right, for an extended amount of time, then the heart is in danger. And the same thing, we should understand that that on a spiritual level as well. That's what the word ruach means. Any moment that we detach ourselves from the Torah, right, even for a couple of minutes or whatever, we're not there, so to speak, there's a lack of oxygen. There's a lack of ruach, of prophecy, of inspiration. And the wings over there are there to protect us. So this is one of the ways that the Rambam teaches us. When a person came to the Beit HaMikdash, he had to see in the Beit HaMikdash a world, this perfect world, how it should be, a world which is there to bring dveikut to Hashem. And what is that world? That is the human being. That is Ben Adam Yisrael, trying to soar upwards to have dveikut b'Hakadosh Baruch Hu. The late Rabbanit Morovitz, Zichronah Livracha, she was a Isha Sheruach Ba. She had a lot of ruach. She was a person who was a nurse, and she was literally she gave ruach to many patients, and she also directed to a large degree the nursing school in Laniado, and she was also Eshet Ruach. She, with her husband Yibadel Chaim V'Arukim, were able to she was able, and as I say, may Rabbi Holovitz be gesund, to bring so much ruach, so much inspiration to the people of Netanya. Shabbat Shalom Lekochem, and Bezat Hashem should be a Shabbat, meaningful Shabbat Zachor. We read about the wiping out of Amalek and the preparation for the great Simcha of Purim, which is coming up. Shabbat Shalom Lekula.